Okay, let's go ahead and get started. So today I am going to show you how I made this cute card, and it is made with Quiet Meadow, the Quiet Meadow Bundle. So I'm going to turn you down to my desktop so that you guys can see what I'm doing, okay? So hang on. And you flip you around there and get you all settled in there. I didn't go high enough. This thing has a tendency to settle after I let go of it. So it comes down a little bit and you won't be able to see, but I think that's good there. All right, and I'm sitting today. I am not going to stand up today just because it feels more relaxing to me, and I had a very fun and relaxing morning this morning. I had a friend come over and we spent some time together just looking at stuff and playing and not really doing a whole lot of anything, but just enjoying each other's company. My host code for this month is ZVMT4BYY. So if you need to place an order, you can always go to Stamp with Deb, click on shop, or my host code will come in right across the top of the screen. Click on that. Just be patient, it will come in. Click on that little button that comes flying in there from the right, and it will take you right to my page where you can place your order, and the host code will be put in there. Each month I send out a packet to those who place a $50 or more order through using my host code, and I send you a packet of 4 cards that I've designed that are all ready to be stamped with a greeting and put together. So this month I am going to be using, let me show you. It's on page 161 of the 116 of the catalog. It's right here. This month I'm going to be using the Art in Bloom bundle. The Art in Bloom bundle is a hybrid, and it's something that's new for Stampin' Up. And what it is it has dies, an embossing folder, and a stamp set. And I know you're thinking that's not new for Stampin' Up, but the dies actually go in the embossing folder and cut when you emboss. So it's really cool. You'll love, love, love this bundle. Let me grab it. So these lock together, and I will be doing a video on this. No, I did a video on this. And so they lock together. It's on, the video's on my blog. And so you just put this inside here, like so, and it hooks in there. Wrong side. I keep doing it on the wrong side. I should notice which side I'm going on. So this has a little bit of an etched edge where it has cut, but it's not hurting the folder at all. Okay, let's get this turned around so it goes in like this, and it just kind of sets in there. It doesn't really snap in or anything. It just kind of sets down in there, and then you put your paper in between, run it through the machine, the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and in one fatal swoop, it's gone. And you have these beautiful flowers that are embossed, and so I have a couple of them in here. There is one of them that I can show you, and they are so gorgeous. They have such a beautiful texture to them. You wouldn't even have to stamp them. They're beautiful even if they're not stamped. So that's what I will be using this month for my set of free cards. So if you place a $50 order, this particular bundle costs $53. So that means you would have the bundle to make more of those cards. So if you place an order, that's what you will be receiving, is 4 cards all ready to be put together. They will not be stamped. There will be no stamping on them. So anyway, let's get back to our project for today. So I have a piece of gray granite, and all the measurements will be on my blog at stampwithdeb.com. But the card that I did, I cut it at 8.5 by 5.5 and scored it at 4.25. But I wanted to show you, you can do it either way. This one doesn't make any difference. So this one I did at 4.25 by 11. And I'm just going to burnish that edge. And then I have a piece of basic white that is cut at 5.25 by 4. And we're just going to go ahead and adhere that to the front of our card. Just like that. Okay. Then this paper is from Bloom Where You're Planted, designer series paper, and it is one of our new papers, and it has the flowers on the I don't know what these are, I guess you could call them flowers, on the back here, and it's the one that, let me show you what it looks like. So here's the other half of the paper. So this is the half that I've used, and it's always the paper that we go, what am I going to do with that? So you could use this for a card very easily. You could stamp a greeting up in here and put some butterflies on it and just go with that. That would be really simple. But the other side is great for the card that I am doing. So let's go ahead and flip that over. So this is what I'm working on. And I'm using Smoky Slate because my Smoky Slate is really light. Now, if yours is not this light, then you'll want to stamp off. But mine is at a point where it probably needs to be re-inked. And so I'm just going to stamp this flower. Just kind of a couple places, kind of randomly. You can barely see it. Okay, and then I'm going to come back and with the greeting that's in here, which is really hard to read, but it's perfect for this, I'm just going to stamp in a couple of places. So I'm going to stamp here, over here. There's no rhyme or reason to any of this. It's just kind of, it's just very random. And the paper already has a design of its own. So this is another flower that's in the set, and I'm just going to stamp that in a couple of places. So this is all going to be so much in the background that you're not going to really even notice it unless you really stare at it. So, and then this is a filler, and it makes for a great filler. And I'm just going to give a little bit of that here and there. So I've kind of created a grungy background. I don't know what it's called. Oops, wait a minute. Sorry about that, my table was not locked and it started to move. So let's just lock it. Okay, now I'm going to take a sponge. Let's get a fresh piece here. And I'm going to use gray granite because my card base is on gray granite. I'm going to use that, and I'm going to go around the edges of this because I want more contrast between this paper and my other one. So I'm just going to, my white. So I'm just going to sponge around these edges. And I don't want to do that. I want it just to stay on the edge. Now you could even add some color to this. I could add a little bit of soft succulent, since I'm going to use soft succulent. And I could add a little bit of pale papaya to the front of it. And should we do it? I think we should do it. I think we'll give it a little shot. And I'm going to use my brushes. So I'm going to start with my pale papaya. I'm getting brave here. Maybe I shouldn't be sitting down. And I'm just going to put a little bit in there. I don't want a lot, just a little bit so that it looks like it's tying together. Maybe a little bit on the flower. Okay, and then I'm going to do my soft succulent as well. Since those are the two that I'm using, let's clean that off so we don't have any more of the yellow in it. And so I just want a little bit, not too much and not too dark. Okay, that's it, I like it. Okay, so now I'm going to adhere that to the front of my card. And let's put it on right side up. Let's make sure it's opening that way. It is. Okay, I'm liking it with that little bit of color in there. I think it adds to it. Okay, then I have, in this bundle, let me show you the bundle first. This is the stamp set. And so you can see I use this stamp, this one, this one, this one. You could use any, you could use them all. But the bundle comes with all of these die cuts, which are, there's 5 of them that are large, 6 of them, 5, 4, 5, 6, yeah. And then there's a tag, 2 tags, 2 butterflies, and there are 3 little who knows what's. I would love to know what those are for. I have no idea. They're all 3 the same, and they're just, they cut out just a little oval. I don't know what they're for. I would love to know, and love to hear what you guys think they're for. So comment on that for me if you guys have any idea what those are. It's a very meadow. It's Quiet Meadow is the name of it, but I'm not sure what they're for. Okay, so I have already die cut this is in the gray granite, this is in the soft succulent, and my third one here is, come back, in the pale papaya. So I'm going to just add a little bit of color to these, a little bit of variation on the edges. I'm not a big sponging person, but with this style, it feels like it needs something on these edges. So I'm just going to add a little bit of color onto the edges of these. Maybe a little down here. Oops, we don't want to put yellow on there. Maybe a little in. I just want a little bit of a difference there. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing on my gray granite here. This one feels like it needs it to stand out because otherwise it just blends right into the background. If I can do these without damaging them, they're so tiny. Grab that on the corner maybe. Nope, can't do it that way. So I'm just gonna have to go that way. I'm gonna give it a little darkness in here and maybe a little bit up in there. Okay, I'm gonna do real quick, the third one is the soft succulent. This one will be easy. And just a little on the stem. Okay, now let's close these up so I don't put my hand in them. And we're going to keep the gray granite out. Okay, so then I just took the 3 of these and just put some adhesive on them using my silicone mat. then I'm going to do, instead of doing that, I'm going to do my green glue. Because I'm afraid that will just put adhesive where I don't want it, right? And just some little dabs of it. Put that one on there. This one I want to go on the front. I almost feel like I want one more. I feel like I want one in vellum. And we'll put this third one on there. So I didn't raise any of them up because I have my tag that's going to be raised up. And there we go. Okay, then I have a tag here somewhere, right here. And I am going to stamp that with the gray granite. And, oh, I forgot to get the greeting. So let's get our greeting out. And I'm going to do the thinking of you again. That's always a good one to be able to send. It's a good general one. Okay, and so just like that, I gotta check this thinking of you. I think it goes uphill. A little bit. Or I have a tendency to stamp it uphill. Okay, so then I'm going to attach that with dimensionals. And then I have a bow here that I tied. And I'm going to spread that right over top of those. And I have a bow with the ribbon, the pale papaya ribbon that's already been tied. And I'm just going to attach that with a glue dot right up here in this corner. And there we go. Just really simple, but just a totally different look from what I typically do. On the inside, I have a piece of basic white, and I have a piece of gray granite and a piece of the designer series paper. So I'm going to attach that designer series paper to the gray granite. Otherwise, it's just too close to the color. So I wanted that little gap in that distinction in between. And then I'm just going to attach that to my basic white. And there we are. And then just trim that off. And that's going to go on the inside of my card. Just like that. And there it is, ready to go. All right, thank you for joining me today. I hope that you enjoyed this. And if there are any supplies you need, be sure to go to stampwithdeb.com where you can order. And I will have this blog post on later on today where you'll be able to just click on the supplies and see what's there, what I used. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.